We normally start with some kind of slapstick. Oh, you're an idiot or something. So, I mean, that maybe... So I'm probably about halfway through my update of the website. It's still got a long way to go. Yeah.
I think we've all deserved a day off. Sorry, I'm just eating a cookie.
Yeah, clearly. You know, when you're a new guy on the block, how do you present yourself when you're responding to inquiry? And, I've done most of the talking this episode.
Bloody hell.
Good to see you bringing value to the podcast, James.
Yeah, sure, you might get the numbers, but you don't really get the dollars, do you? Like, because they own the customer, ultimately. Check out our website. What's our website? Twopooltechs.com.
It's not up yet, though, James, so just...
Right,
3.
Episode 3. Here we go.
How many subscribers have we got so far? We've got 3 weeks of content.
We've tripled our numbers.
We've got a couple of people in.
Tripled our numbers. At this rate, we'll have millions of followers soon.
Well, if it keeps doubling...
That's right, it's like a chessboard.
Tripling.
Like a chessboard.
Yeah, once you got one...
Yeah, you'll have 64,000.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Thomas? Welcome to week 3.
Yes, it's been a...
How's your week?
Yes, we're into February already. Isn't that amazing?
Fucking hell, we are, yeah. Almost February week 2.
Yeah.
Have a shake.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening in February? I feel like this week... So when you look at the weeks of the year and you look at the months and... Okay, so January had 4 weeks. February has 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's odd that, isn't it?
Normally February has less weeks.
You feel like it's got less, but
it doesn't
actually
this year.
Yeah.
So less days.
I don't think it did last year either.
Less days, but same amount of weeks.
Yeah.
That's because we lose the first 5 days of February.
Because that's the last week.
Oh, sorry. No. We lose... Oh, it's something like that. We lost some days in January. Something like that. Anyway, long story. That's probably a
But then March is a 5-week month.
Yes, so March is going to be a longer month. So, yeah, looking forward to the...
First month of the cold season too, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good. Way to start.
There's a question. Have things been slowing down for you at all?
They have, actually.
Yeah.
This week it's taken a bit of a turn, a bit of a dive. But you know what? I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Because it's been such a massive 2 and a bit months. And I actually took a couple of days off this week.
Wow.
And fuck, it was nice.
Yeah.
I got some things done around the house.
Yeah. Still very hot, though. It's still very hot outside.
Still very hot. There's still a lot going on, but I think everyone's got their pools sorted now and, like... They're rolling with the punches, and we're sort of in that in-between period between having your getting your pools sorted for summer and then getting them restored over winter type thing.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting when that transition period happens. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Over the next few weeks will be interesting, and certainly, I mean, I hope that I actually think it's going to kick back up again. I think we're going to go upwards again as we come towards the
start of the colder months.
Well, no. I think that we've still got a few weeks left of the summer period, but I think you'll find that... When's the next public holiday coming up?
Yeah, Easter weekend.
I reckon as we head towards Easter, we're going to get another kick of activity happening because people are going to want...
it does stay warm around Sydney. It's still about April, doesn't it?
If it's anything like what it's been like in the last few weeks, we're on for a warm Easter, that's for sure. So, yeah, it will be interesting. It's interesting to hear as well what anyone out there is feeling and whether if you're out there cleaning pools...
Are you busy?
Yeah.
Are you quiet?
Let us know in the comments.
What's the history say? What's the business history say? Yeah, let us know in the comments.
So this week I've been busy updating my website.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
It's been a bit of...
Sydney, what's your business name again?
Sydney Pool Servicing.
Sydney Pool Servicing, that's right.
Yeah.
.com? .au? No, not .au.
Well, it can be... Look, I have got both URLs.
Oh, so, you have? You got a little redirect
we can redirect back to the .com. But anyway.
Nice.
So that's all been happening. It's been very busy. And I've got to say, one of those challenging tasks that is always... it's a never-ending mission, isn't it? So I'm probably about halfway through my update of the website. It's still got a long way to go.
So important, though, right?
Critical. It's really critical for being that front face so that you can get inquiry, really.
Yeah, and also so you can keep your inquiry in-house.
Correct.
The importance of a website, I mean, yeah, it's that you don't have to pay fees to, like, Airtasker and, like, all that sort of stuff, and you've just got complete control of your customer. And then you can hack into things, well, not hack, but you can get things like Hotjar.
Yep.
And you can see customer activity on your website.
Owning the...
Everything. Oof, what do you got here?
On to the next segment, everyone.
There we go.
So I guess, long story short, I mean, it's been an interesting week working on those things. I think, it does lead us into what we wanted to talk about today, which is all about inquiries and dealing with inquiries and also when you're a new guy on the block, how do you present yourself when you're responding to inquiries?
So it's inquiry generation, inquiry management.
Yeah.
And just where to source those inquiries from and how to deal with them and the best way to approach them. For sure.
What platforms are the good ones to use, and how to present yourself on some of those platforms, especially when you're new, because I think when you're new, that's where you kind of got to hunt for the new business.
Yeah, you sort of have to throw a bit away, don't you? To some degree. Like you got to make a few sacrifices just to get some numbers on the board.
Yeah, and you just want to do any work, you're just trying to find the customers and just trying to link up with them. But there's a few traps that you can fall into. So all that is coming up.
It's coming up, and this is our feature piece.
Feature piece of content.
Which we still don't have a name for.
Yeah. So, but firstly, of course, we've got our backwash.
That's coming up in segment 2.
So let's jump into that, yeah?
Should we have a little break and then go into backwash? I think
we've got to turn from backwash.
Yeah, we've got to turn everything off before you can spin the noodle. No, what's it called?
The multi-port valve.
Back after the break.
Right, backwash.
Right, welcome back to backwash.
So, James, would you like to share with us your all the stuff you got on the backwash this week?
Yes, heaps, loads.
You know what?
No, a clean filter this week, Thomas.
A clean filter.
Yeah.
Obviously, been not using it very much.
No. The pool's doing well here. I don't have much to talk about for backwash. I've had a really good week. I've had a nice chilled week.
Yeah, I think much the same for myself. I haven't really had any. Set examples. I mean, I'm still having troubles with Astral, so that could be our backwash. Double backwash on it.
We did say last week we were going to double down.
But what I will say is I think it is a week that if you look back and reflect on, for me anyway, I feel like sometimes it's like, oh man, did I work hard enough this week? I feel like a bit like nearly like I want to give myself a bit of a kick in the backside because I feel like. But then I think maybe I could just be a little bit relaxed and just be a little bit easier on myself and not be so worried. And so, calling myself out for, wanting to be trying to do as much work as I can every day and every week. And
in order to keep that going, though, you need to look after yourself.
Yeah. I
think we've all deserved a day off. Sorry, I'm just eating a cookie.
Yeah, clearly. A chocolate eclair.
Chocolate thing. Do you want one?
No, I'm good.
They're really good.
Yeah, I'm good.
You can only keep up that workload for so long because we've been working. I've been working pretty much 6 days, if not 7 a week for the last 2 months at least, probably more.
Yeah.
And I'm taking 3 days off this week, and I don't really feel guilty about that at all.
Yeah, so I mean, I was feeling. I definitely if I ever sleep in or whatever, when I wake up, I'm like, oh god, I feel a bit like oof. I feel like I could have been doing more. And I suppose it has been as well compounded by the issue of a little bit of a slowdown this week in client activity, and I think that it's easy to feel a bit down and feel a bit lost. That gosh, is this?
Am I coming off the rails?
Yeah, but I can see that that's not the way to look at it. I think there is definitely a.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, so I like you. I'm not really. That's not really a backwash. That's.
Well, I think you say your backwash is you.
That's washing back.
You are your own backwash.
It's washing my own back there.
Yeah.
Bit of soap on a rope.
Little scrub. Yeah, a little rag on a stick.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that backwash segment.
Yeah, that was a deep dive, wasn't it? We could probably just jump straight into part 3.
I reckon part 3 is where all the
meat.
Well, I was going to say all of the depth. Stay tuned and we'll see you in part 3.
Yeah. I thought we were just going to jump straight into it. That's right. Let's go. Part 3. Welcome back.
Well, part 3. So we've got some interesting content to talk about today, whatever time you're listening to.
Whatever you're listening to in this podcast.
So first things first, how do you get your leads, James? What's the most common way leads come into your business?
So if you go over the period of my business, it's 35% Airtasker.
Right.
And then about 30% website. and then the other sort of 35-40% is scattered around. I can't get the official numbers, but Airtasker and my website are the two highest sources, followed by referral.
Yep.
And then some other scattered bits and pieces.
And do you find more value out of a specific type of customer in terms of where they're coming from, lead generation?
Depends on how you measure value, but they're certainly very different customers.
Right. Have you even dove into the numbers before and gone, okay, so on average, Airtasker clients are worth X amount of dollars?
I haven't done that actually. That's probably a good exercise.
Yeah. So once again, that's where it's vital to be tracking each customer's
dollars per
spend,
customer from each source. That is getting down to the juice, isn't it?
Yeah,
that'd be a good statistic to have.
Yeah, so knowing exactly how many dollars you're getting out of each platform, essentially.
Yeah, because then you'd know then how many inquiries, because you could then work out, okay, this amount of inquiries turns into this amount of leads, so you would know if I want to make $5,000 this month off that lead source, this is how many inquiries I have to punch out.
Totally. And the other thing is, when you're calculating that number, if you are spending money on these platforms to actually generate those leads, it's very, very important to know, well, what return are you getting?
Return on investment, yeah. And I think, it would be pretty safe to say that things like Airtasker and High Pages and those sort of places that generate leads for you, yeah, sure, you might get the numbers, but you don't really get the dollars, do you? Because they own the customer, ultimately.
Yes and no. I mean, for a lot of the customers I've brought on through all those platforms, so Airtasker, High Pages, these are customers that have become my bread and butter, long-term customers.
I got a couple of long-termers from Airtasker too, yeah.
I think that there's definitely value to be extracted there, and I think Airtasker, from when you start out, Airtasker is probably the first platform you start with because it's the easiest.
And that's a great thing. It's a good thing, and it does make that easy, doesn't it?
It's an easy place to go and find people needing help with their pool.
Instant numbers.
The challenge with it is that you've got an unlimited amount of people that can basically go in and undercut you.
Yeah, compete against you.
And you're competing against an unlimited amount of people in terms of the competition going for that same business.
So for the same customer. So you have to present. You have to have a point of difference, right? And this is the other thing we're going to talk about.
So this is where I think this is where I think we can really highlight some ways to. Well, we can bring some value to our audience here, and that is that when you're first starting out, you're using platforms like Airtasker. Okay, cool. How do you present yourself on these platforms so that you stand the best chance of winning the business? Because I know that what I found when we were using these platforms heavily was there were certain things that we did that made us stand out well and truly above the competitors. And in fact, it was actually pretty easy to win the business, even if we weren't asking a higher price than what.
In fact, you could almost argue it was easier to have that presentation than it was to go in and talk to the customers. You know what I mean? We just had those templates up and running.
That's right. So
it was so well put together, but we could just punch out that template. But you see a lot of guys on Airtasker will go in and sort of have just a conversation. They'll say g'day, and then they'll sort of just say, oh yeah, I'll give you an offer, and it's just very vague and casual, which is probably great in terms of their personality, but it's not really a good way to present your business and present your services, right?
So the first thing that I think is really important to setting this up right is having a profile that actually is professional and highlights exactly why someone should choose you when they're looking to clean their pool.
And when you say a profile that's professional, you mean like your photos?
Your profile photo.
Good quality photos.
Now, I got to say, my profile photo on Airtasker was, if you were going to see a pool guy photo, it was like, you were going to hire that guy. You're standing in front of the pool van, smile on my face, Bunnings hat on, sunburn,
Bunnings hat, that's right.
Ripping out sweat. It was really, if you were going to put a picture of a pool guy up, that was what it was.
If AI was going to generate a pool guy photo,
that was the pool guy. It would be that one. Yeah, pool guy, right? It's in the dictionary. But what that did was the start of the process of having a profile that looks and feels right for someone to actually book you and say, you're going to go and to clean my pool. So there's that. There's also having a good description about
bio.
Bio. Hey, this is what you do. This is why you do it. I clean pools in these areas.
It would be a cool little trick as well. This is a little trick to keep your bio wording in line with that you use on other platforms and also your website, so that when people search it on Google,
correct,
it's bringing up that's search engine optimization, right?
Yeah, so having your profile listing essentially match the other platforms that you are present on online.
That brings you heaps of value. In fact, that probably long term it brings you a lot, if not the most value. Short term, maybe not, but things like that really that's attention to detail. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So then it comes to then pitching for business. So when you're going out and looking for jobs, I was always looking and trying to find jobs where I thought, yeah, this is in my sweet spot. So, you want to look at the location where it is, and also how many people have already, actually gone and
competed. And you'll start to get to know who sort of throws out what sort of numbers as well, just based on who you're competing against for different jobs. And also try and keep a mix of jobs, like have your template. Airtasker gives you a really good option for template things for when you're making offers. Have that ready to go.
Yeah.
And have it easily, what's the word? So you can easily change it, easily tailorable, I guess, to each customer.
This is the other thing. The amount of times I've seen where someone has gone and pitched in a job listing, someone has gone and put in there a really vague and basic template that was obviously not even customized or something, or said the wrong name,
to someone else's job,
just careless stuff where it was just completely overlooked by someone, or just mass kind of sent out. It doesn't look good. And
I had a template where it just said hi, and then I would change the name. Said I am a pool guy. Basically, I can get to you this week. This service will include, and then just put a list of things and list out as many of the things as you can that are pretty much included on every service. Yeah. And I would then say, would love to hear from you. But I would then be able to just go in and change the name of the person, and then just add one or two things into that service list. And having that template means that I can just punch out 5 offers in 5 minutes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm looking here on the current listings that are currently up on Airtasker, just to get some examples and some, to highlight to everyone exactly what we mean here. About, yeah. And when I look through, here's the other thing. In the pool industry, the pool industry is gagging for people to come and
have a bit of proper business sense.
Well, not only that, but I'm looking at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's in the first kind of couple of scrolls, there's over 10 or 15 jobs with only 1 or 2 offers or no offers whatsoever.
Yeah, right.
And, these are jobs out there. Someone's trying to find someone to do this
Someone
work.
Someone is desperate to give people money.
It's like, this is what I identified when I first joined this industry, thinking, oh, wow, there's dying for some help here.
And you might look at that and go, oh, it's $100, $150 per job. But if you take that sacrifice for you when you're first starting, punch out a few jobs. If you can get 3 or 4 in the same area, you've got a $600-700 day there.
So I'm looking here at some of the ways that people are presenting themselves online, and it's no surprise when you look at the jobs that have been allocated already. When you look at the person that's won that allocation or the pitch they've made, most of the time it's the one that looks most professional. So I'm looking here and swimming pool, empty water, clean waste. So this is someone. This was the one I was.
Oh, yep. That's all about the other day. Yeah.
So. It's essentially, this job is still open, by the way. So it's quite vague from the person who's actually put up that the listing. But this is the other thing that you need to be careful of when you're going to pitch for these businesses, or when you're going to pitch for this job, sorry. And that is that, okay, is there enough information for you to accurately make a pitch and know that you're not going to run into troubles or know that you're not going to lose money on the job.
You're really careful with that on Airtasker too, don't you?
Totally, because if you say, yeah, I can do this job, if someone's asked for a basic pool clean and that clean is going to include, they just want to vacuum, well, do you know what the state of the pool is like at the moment?
Right,
is the water clear?
Don't
is it green?
fall into that trap.
Make sure you are. So it's not at all a problem to actually ask clarifying questions before you make a proposal or send a
In fact,
quote.
it's not just not a problem. On Airtasker, it's almost essential. Just make sure you've got everything covered and keep your template tight. Make sure you're not off.
This is where it's critical to tailor each time you actually go and pitch for business. No, you can't do this on a mass kind of production level. You need to take each individual job and know that you can pitch for that job. So in this example here, customer asked for swimming pool water needs to be drained, pool cleaned, water balanced, and new chlorinator installed. Right now, they've got a task budget of $500.
Right.
But
Which sounds appealing too, doesn't it? You can easily get lulled into that.
Well, so assuming when you read that, swimming pool water needs to be drained, pool cleaned, water balanced, and new chlorinator installed. Does that mean they've already got the new chlorinator?
Yeah,
Do they need to get a new chlorinator?
Yeah.
So these were the things that I was really going to ask the question
Where
of.
am I installing it?
What I did was I sent her a message back. Hi there, a couple of questions for you. Do you already have the chlorinator ready for installation? 2, do you have any photos of the current condition of the pool? And 3, if you can get a photo of the location where the chlorinator is to be installed, that would also be good, right?
Yeah.
Now, that is going to clarify for me exactly what the job is going to need to be, what kind of job I'm going to be needing to do. Because by her taking a photo of the location where the chlorinator is to be installed, I'm going to see what condition and what we're going to be replacing.
And that could be the difference between a day and 3 days.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So she replies back, sends me photos, and indeed I was surprised by the fact that I saw then 2 salt cells in the plumbing, and then she was going to be replacing that with So I'm now dealing with a dragon with 2 heads. Yeah. So I said, thanks, Pro Son. Just so she said, sorry. Let me go back a step here.
Customer.
So the customers replied, sent photos of those things that I asked for. So the condition of the pool, which was green as the goblins,
Kermit the pool.
Yeah, blouse of a goblin, whatever that is. And also sent me a photo of the area where the pool was going to be actually located, right? So, okay, awesome. Now, she goes, and I've also sent pics of the pool and the chlorinator are attached. And so then I said, thank you to the customer. Just to clarify, it appears the old chlorinator has 2 salt cells. Is this going to be the case with the new one? So this is a classic example of where...
Getting down into detail and just being really careful.
And this is Now, this is going to make a big difference to what I would suggest is going to be the actual proposal and the amount you're going to charge for this particular client. So she then indeed sends me a photo. The one on the left is... she replies with, the one on the left in black is the new chlorinator to be installed. So she sent me a photo which included the new chlorinator, which was kind of sitting next to the current chlorinator that was currently installed. So, So essentially she was going to be replacing it with an Astral Equilibrium, and she had some other old, I don't know what brand it was, chlorinator in there that had 2 salt cells. So this means that you're going to have to now do some plumbing work as well in order to get this new chlorinator in, because it's got 2.
Yeah, so 2 salt cells and you have to reduce
massive
it to 1.
change. So this is exactly what I'm talking about.
And it's on top of the initial green pool recovery she's asking for. So
exactly right.
Yeah, right.
So my suggestion, this is what I wanted to talk about now, is that, okay, so with this stuff in mind, it is really important when you're first starting out especially to make sure you don't jump into a job that's actually over and above your capabilities.
Yeah. Stick to what you know, and don't overdo it.
Because most of the time, if you do jump into a job that's a bit over your head, and you might be able to wing it, but you'll probably lose, especially the first few times you do it. Now, it's not to say that it's not good learning and you'll learn from it, but can you afford to make that mistake initially?
I suppose that's up to you, each individual, isn't it? But I mean, it's because it's good to sometimes push yourself, especially at the start, and to take those losses at the start. Yeah. But you don't want to go too far in and over your head. Just push yourself a little bit.
The other question is if you don't have the expertise to actually install these things correctly, are you doing it a good thing? Are you doing doing the right thing by the customer in actually taking that job on?
Yourself,
these are all things that need to be thought about and considered when
it's up to each individual to make that decision, I guess. But it's good advice. Just don't go too deep. Yeah.
And make sure when you're then going to pitch. So this client had said that their budget was $500. Mm-hmm. Now, when I look at that job and I go, okay, so actually this is going to require a bit of plumbing. I'm more going to be thinking this is going to be about $1,000 job.
Oh, at least by the sounds of it, yeah.
I'm talking labour here, not any parts. Yeah. So when you consider that, and then you go back to the customer and say, hey, okay, I'm now going to say to you, yes, I'll do this job for $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Make that offer, considering as well you're going to lose
20% of that in your fees for
which
air
means
tasker.
You have to put it up to like $1,300.
So when you consider all those things and you add all those things in, and then you go back to the customer, the thing is that when you go back to the customer initially and say, hey, actually, your budget of $500 is nowhere near enough.
It's not going to get you anywhere, yeah.
Knowing that you've gone back and you've said to them, okay, cool, this is what it's going to cost you, $1,300, you'll actually find that more times than not, the customer will come back to you and go, okay, yeah, I understand, and they'll actually book you because you've given them a solid understanding on why.
As opposed to just them seeing an offer.
Exactly right.
For $1,500, and they go, what the hell? Why is that? And where you've actually explained yourself.
Yeah. Whereas if you did say, okay, we'll just get the job and we'll get it happening for $500, and we'll just...
Worse.
you're going to get to the job. You're going to be
They'll
all
be
of a
happy
sudden.
as Larry. But
Yeah, they're loving it because they've now got this whole thing done for $500,
and you've got 4 days of torture.
Yeah, totally. So, it's an interesting dilemma. I think everyone goes through a little bit, and you've got to kind of make mistakes to sometimes learn. But
there's a couple of pros out there on Airtasker though. Definitely. Keep an eye on the regulars and just see what they do and steal their ideas for sure.
And just
sitting on the shoulders of giants.
Put yourself in the customer's shoes for a second. Just think, if I was looking and trying to get someone to do this job for me, am I going to book me when I put a pitch in that?
I've got this professional guy or this guy who wants to have a conversation, and the guy who has a conversation might be just as capable, but when it's in text in front of you and there's no personality involved, which one are you going to take?
They don't even have. Some of them don't have a photo of themselves. They're like, "Oh, g'day, I'm based in that area and I can help." And that's not a pitch and proposal.
And they put it in the questions thing as well.
Or they'll put that in the proposal of the amount to a proposal with $500. Yep, no worries. I can do that job. So
I think we can extend this out to a second part 2 of part 3. I reckon we should take a break. It's been a long segment, and then we can come back for part 2 of part 3.
You know what? I feel I've been talking a lot in this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very serious too. You cut that shit out.
A couple of dollars.
Welcome back. Part 2 of part 3. Part 3, part 2.
Well, I'm back.
So,
of course I'm back. I'm here.
We left it at Airtasker.
Yes.
Moving on to some other parts, some other lead generation sources or lead or inquiry sources. Where do you, when we were starting out, we did rely heavily on Airtasker.
Yep.
Where do we go from there?
So there's a few platforms. I mean, High Pages is another one, but you obviously pay. So you've got to pay for High Pages up front and pay to have essentially a subscription to High Pages. And then you get
know how to charge too, don't they?
And then you get sent essentially.
But you get value out of it.
Yeah, you get sent. You got the ability to basically pitch for business, and they limit.
It's less. Yeah, that's right. It's less competition.
Yeah, so they limit to each lead for 3
or something like
that. You've got three professionals pitching for each particular job that they'll.
So the lead will only go to 3 people.
Yeah.
Which means you've got less people that you're up against.
However, what it does also mean is that you've got to be quick when a job comes up to actually.
And you don't know what those other people are offering as well.
That's right.
You've got no idea who you're up against.
That's right.
But that's okay. That's fine. As long as you're confident within yourself, that's cool.
So I've from the dollars sense. I've definitely made more probably from Airtasker because
because it's just a lot more.
I think it's
turnover.
Well, yeah. I just look. I could spend more on.
Sorry. Yeah, that's all right.
So I could spend a lot more on High Pages to get more leads, but then the other problem is with High Pages because you have to get in so quick. If you're not able to respond immediately to a job,
be a burn, can't it? Yeah.
It straight away you lose.
You do
lose
have to be on it
opportunity.
very quick because otherwise you're paying $140 for nothing.
Sometimes I've been watching and it's like literally within seconds of a job going up.
You get the notification and by the time you press it, it's gone.
It's already been registered.
You've got to wonder what's going on.
The lead's already gone. So
gone.
Yeah, so maybe we could get some software developers to create some scripts to automatically apply for jobs. I have actually wondered whether that's sometimes going on in the background, whether when some of these jobs come up, because how can people be so quick to always jump in and grab the jobs?
And the thing is, that's not the other reason you have to be quick is because it doesn't disappear when the customer accepts a job. It disappears when 3 people have made an offer, or when 3 people have accepted the lead.
Accepted the lead, yeah. But how can they be doing it so quick? I mean, these boys have fast fingers. That's what I say.
Yeah, good with their digits.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
So, so this High Pages, that's another, it's all there. Everyone's got an opportunity.
So ultimately though, when you're getting these numbers on the board through places like this, you should be in the background and when you get home from work each day, working on your website.
Yeah, so...
Because that's your strongest point.
I suppose when you first start, may not be clear, but the challenge of these platforms is that you never own the lead. You never are actually the one in control of anything. Because you're basically versing other people.
You're versing other people. You don't have control over how those people get to that inquiry source. So
the goal should be to essentially work towards owning more of the customers coming in as leads. Because if someone comes and inquires on your website and they fill out a form, you have essentially built a system that is giving you a captive audience that are inquiring directly with you.
And you're building value into your business.
Yeah.
Right, massive value into it, because you then become a competitor of Airtasker because you're a lead source, right?
Correct, yeah.
And you've also you've got ownership of that customer, and even if worst case you don't end up doing a pool service for them, you've got their name and number and their email, so they're a long-term customer.
There's that kind of long-term goal or an objective. Now, you can fast track that with things like running some search ads or Google ads, or even running some targeted advertising to try and generate more people into your website. That's definitely a tactic that's worth thinking about. However, that's also a dangerous tactic, because you can end up spending a lot of money, and if you aren't able to generate the lead, or for whatever reason, if you're not able to get that lead happening through the website, you're essentially burning dollars.
So you want to make sure that all your infrastructure is in place before you start going and doing those things?
Yeah, so if someone fills out a form, do you get that inquiry through correctly? Can you then respond to it in an ample amount of time so that they don't go elsewhere?
Are they getting the right automation emails and stuff?
Yeah, all this stuff is obviously incredibly important.
Do a couple of test runs, make
also,
sure your SEO's all up to scratch.
Do you have reviews? Have people reviewed your business? Do you have reviews on things like Google My Business? This is a vital piece of the puzzle.
In the current technology, yes.
Yeah, to actually getting people to think, okay, yeah, I'm going to inquire with this when they go on your website.
Also, the other place that's vital is with things like ChatGPT, or basically AI.
Yeah.
If someone, and a lot of people are doing this, they're going to AI and saying, who should I book for my pool service?
This is something we discovered this year, wasn't it?
One of the number one things that will give the AI the trigger.
Yep.
To provide your business as a result.
So it's one thing you can do, actually look for yourself through AI, or do some research yourself and type into some AI tools.
ChatGPT.
I'm looking for a pool service business, or I'm looking to get my pool serviced. Who should I use? Who's a local pool service expert?
And it's a massive gap in the market, because most guys in the pool industry are old humps that hardly ever use computers.
So what's AI? What's AI, James?
How do you spell that?
Is that something in the Telegraph?
So, and let me know if they're listening. We love you, old guys, but you're probably not.
Make our jobs easier.
Yeah. Thanks for all the gaps. Because if you can tap into that, then you'll just jump ahead, so far ahead.
Do you reckon we're hated by much of the pool industry yet? The old
dogs? I'd like to think so.
Yes. Yeah. They probably wouldn't be listening anyway, so,
Referrals. I actually got a referral off one of the old dogs. Actually, I got a couple of referrals. Fucking awful customers, but...
That's good news.
I think that's a sign of how much they respect us.
Out with the old, in with the new, James.
Yeah. Just a turnover. That's another lead source. A couple of the old dogs.
So another one that is interesting thought is buying pool routes.
Oh, yes.
Have you thought of that before, James?
Well, I was going to do that, actually, a few months into my tenure, into my career.
Yep.
Not tenure. I was offered a pool route by a guy just on sort of the north side of Sydney.
Pool route?
Shout out to Andy.
How many routes, how many pool
he had like
service locations?
200 and something customers.
Wow, there you go.
He's doing really well. And he was going to move to Brisbane. Turns out he stayed in Sydney.
Customers.
Which I thought was maybe him just saying, oh no, I don't want to see my business. But he actually did end up staying in Sydney. So he's a true, honest guy, and he wanted a few grand for his customers, and that was looking like a really good proposition.
Right. So you were considering spending a few grand to generate how many customers was it? 200?
Buy his 200 customers.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So
I don't know if I would have taken all of them, but there's something like it was going to be a cheap buy. If you come across something like that, obviously you want everything nice and watertight. You want your terms and conditions of the purchase of the route, and you want to make sure that those customers are going to stick around. And
that's right. And how do you know that?
You want to do a proper handover, right?
And you still, as a new, there's nothing saying that customer is going to stay with you if you don't.
And
if you're not able to service them properly.
Could be a stitch up.
Totally.
So you want to make sure it's watertight.
Be very careful. But at the end of the day, what we've really kind of, in summing all of that information, I think what is important when you're deciding upon how you're going to go about winning business or generating leads and winning the business, I think there's no shortcuts here. You got to really have some infrastructure in place, and you should look at this as a kind of both a long, medium, and short term.
Where are your quick wins? Where's your low hanging fruit?
So where's your low hanging fruit? Platforms like Airtasker, you can very quickly as
Generate
in
some money.
within a couple of days, generate leads, generate the business, and
Generate
do
a
it
bit of a
all within that
brand.
platform.
Yeah.
Do that knowing that long term is not
It's a short. It's a quick win.
is not really anything
it's
that's going
not
to
gonna
build
sustain
your
your
business.
business. Yeah.
You want to be building your own
Excuse me.
platform, your own website. That was disgusting,
that.
James. Chair fart.
Chair fart. Massive chair fart.
You know, what you're doing is working towards something long term that is going to be an evergreen source of lead generation and business winning,
Stuff.
things. So now, some resources for our avid listeners to take advantage of. I thought we would, or we both thought actually.
Yeah, at the same time.
We could make
no
some
one won that
good
one.
resources because at the end of the day, we've done this stuff for the last year
Check
and
down
a
in the
bit.
comments. Check down in the comments the links.
We've got a couple of
fucking
templates,
descriptions,
couple
whatever
of
you want to call it.
bits of
Couple of links for you to use.
couple of nuggets
Yeah, a bit of bits of gold.
that you can take advantage of. So we got, I think, a template in there of an Airtasker proposal.
Yep.
Take a good look at that. I might put one up from myself, and maybe James will put one up of his. I reckon probably copied mine directly. I mean, that's probably what he did.
Basically, what's going to happen here is that everyone on Airtasker is going to make exactly the same offer.
There's going to be 8 people with the same pitch every week. So
be
we will
great.
say that you
What a
need to
legacy.
tailor this for your own business and your own purpose, but by all means, have a look at it and see what you can use. A bit of.
Check out our website. What's our website? Twopooltechs.com.
It's not up yet though, James. So
But it will be by the time we go to air.
it's coming soon
might have a landing page
to a interweb near you.
Yep. Check it on the www.
Twopooltechs.com.
And then you could even put a .au. if you
Yeah,
want.
we could
It's
do
up-
either.
Entirely up to you.
Totally up to your own
Take your
choice.
as long as it's Australia or
Get a couple of
the world.
customers in there.
Couple of customers.
Yeah, you can sign up. And anyway, but that will, I suppose, talk
That
a
may
bit more
not
about that.
actually be happening. But give it a go.
But look, we can talk more about that next week.
Yep.
Until then, I look forward to chatting more with you then. And I've done most of talking this episode.
Bloody hell.
So thanks, James, for coming to my podcast today.
This is your audio technician. No worries, Thomas.
We'll catch you all next week.
See you next week.